sorry.
Okay, so
Wait, that was.
then you're denying this abatement, and somebody
Well-
will need to write a letter.
We'll let that one go for this year.
No,
Well, no.
we're not abating this year. Her bill this year was for the 18,000. So we're not abating anything yet. She's asking us to go back and abate the previous 2 years. So that'll have to be denied, and somebody will need to write a letter.
We
So
did.
if you wanna write the letter, then that would be great. If you wanna write a letter and explain to her why we can't do it.
I'll take that under the CMA's advisement on that one, since we haven't hired.
All right, well,
And
like
then
I said,
I'll have
somebody
it.
needs to
He
write
can
a
draw
letter
up
to
the
her.
letter on that. That'll be similar to some of the stuff he's done.
Yeah, because we need to be consistent, and we just denied one for the same reason. I mean, this can be, we don't know if she does it logging with it, or
Yeah.
what,
Sure.
I mean, it sounded good on the surface and all that. I should have looked at the laws a little closer than I did. I didn't do it, and
Well, it's all just a
we
learning
can't do it. It's a
process,
base
so.
lot. It's what we normally do is charge by a base lot and then the $1,000 an acre after that. Regardless of whether it's landlocked or not, that's got nothing to do with it.
So are you gonna ask Ben to write the letter? Is that your plan?
I'll take his advisement on it, yeah, but I'll sign it and stuff too.
Well, you guys will all have to sign
Well,
the
I
letter,
will
but
sign.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you're gonna ask him to write the initial letter. Are you?
Because
Are you going to?
yeah, I'll have him help me with it.
Okay. So you know how you just circle the denial
I did.
and then you can all sign that.
Yeah, that's for two back years, there's
Yes,
nothing more, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll have to correct it anyway, so in
Yeah.
that letter will have to be the correction that we,
And then I have another abatement that Ben did. I think he did a partial here.
Yeah.
That needs your signatures. He wrote the letter, he did the front page. And so you guys need to sign the front page, you need to sign the letter, and you need to sign where it's highlighted there. And then there's another one, same thing, it's, I guess this one was because of an error in square footage.
By denying, you're saying that we're not gonna allow the 2016 reduction?
No, that's not what you're saying. She's not asking,
she's asking for the previous
she's
2
asking
years.
for 14 and 15. The tax bill this year reflected the 18,000, which reflected the real land at 1,000. We can't change that unless you want to now send her a supplemental bill, but
No,
I don't think that would be fair because you had
no, as it
already,
is, it's gonna be a wrangle,
but she's asking now for the previous 2 years
Okay.
because you had
Yeah.
reduced it,
but
so.
we had made a mistake on this, so you're gonna let us get this letter of recommendation drawn up before you mail us back, or before you. go
Oh, I'm
back.
not sending anything to her till you guys write a letter so I can send it all together.
I just wanna be sure of that, that's all.
Okay, here's another one, Christine.
Okay.
Thank you. And then there's 3 that Ben did here that were denied. And he wrote the letters, but you also need to sign the back of the abatement form. So there's 2 places on each of these that you guys have to sign.
Oh, did I sign both on that other one? Did I?
Huh?
No, I
There's
just
3
handed-
on
Um,
that one. There's 3 sections.
I don't think I signed everything on that, did
This one only had 1 section, the other 2 that you have more,
I? Okay.
yeah.
swing.
The three.
Oh, thank you.
Is everything going all right in the town? They're all calmed down, has everyone got their proper amount of sleep now and all that stuff too, all the employees?
No,
Okay,
no.
just checking.
Everything's good though. I've been to Acton, they're okay. I've been to Rochester, they're okay.
Yeah, but is everything okay in Lebanon?
Yes,
All right, I'm afraid I have to ask you this.
just not mutual aid stuff.
Hi, Dan.
Who said? Oh. Oh.
Almost all of these, are any that we're paying out, just go usually to credit for the following year.
We usually don't tell on there, because most of them will say right on there if it's gonna credit the spring account, or if it's gonna credit the fall account, or if you cut them a check, it will usually say on that second one, the other one did.
The denied ones, there wouldn't be a check.
No.
Twice.
Thanks. Who's in, aren't there, oh, this is it. Two partials, yeah. Okay.
Paul's going in.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So this next thing I have, Tommy Torno brought it in. And it's a, application for federal surplus property, state of Maine. And we have done this in the past, but I guess because there was a new, board, they still had, I think, Ben as the chair, so they told him he needed to do a new application. So I filled everything out. And Christine, you need to sign there.
Well,
And
what does that allow?
it allows, if there's surplus property from the state,
Yeah.
then Tom can go online and look and see what there might be, and then have an
And the
opportunity.
selectmen were set up to do that last year, right?
Yes,
We've done that in the past.
yeah,
So.
but he went online, I
Are
guess,
we
or,
gonna do the same thing this year?
what do you mean?
I mean, I agree with having Tommy be able to go on there,
Yeah, you're all gonna be on there,
but, okay.
if that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm not really
Because if
sure how
Christine-
you access it, I haven't read this whole thing.
Right.
But it just needs you guys' approval in order for them to put it into place.
This is the
Right.
change.
And then he can go.
We're also named as the ones that can use it, as well.
Oh, yeah, yes, because you're on here, you all have to sign.
Should
You all
they-
have to sign here,
Yeah.
you're representatives, so.
Yeah.
But it's just asking for one official at this point to sign in a couple spots. You can all sign it if you want, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just getting it filled out so he can send it back
Well, as
in.
long as it doesn't change who can get stuff.
No, I'm telling you, Royce, right here
I
it
see that
lists
now.
Christine, you, Paul, and Tommy.
Yeah, okay.
So everybody should be able to get on there and see what
Actually-
there is.
We should probably, before we went through this, we should have asked the fire chief if he'd like to be in on it. If there happens to be surplus fire equipment that comes from the state. that
Well,
would
I
be-
mean, Tommy will have or whoever, you guys, if you see it, you can certainly tell him.
Well, he should be also be able to be notified of,
Well, I don't know that you
there are
get
lists that
no-
come out, is
I
there
don't
not?
know that you get notified, I think you have to go and look. I'm not really sure.
Right, but somebody gets a notification that there's an upcoming auction or whatever, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can ask Tommy, I mean, if something comes up, you know.
Well,
we can-
if it's supposed to come to the selectman's office also, then it should be noted that way.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're on here, we're all on here.
I put his email, I can put mine.
I would say it would be a good idea, that way we know that.
Okay.
But I really do think you ought to offer it to the fire chief too.
Well, that's fine,
There
I
would
just
be-
didn't,
There could be surplus equipment that
Don't,
he
don't they have a
realized.
separate whole, the fire has a whole separate, equipment.
I don't know, who has the forestry stuff? Is that state of Maine or is that just forestry service
We
only?
can ask him to put it on.
I'll
there.
ask Tommy to look into it.
Yeah. Thank you. You wanna see it?
Okay. Okay, so I got an email from Jim Foster from the DOT. He had called, so I asked him to just put this in writing. Sorry. And, that call and Royce. He said he wanted to share that he met with the chief engineer, Joyce Taylor, regarding the DOT's commitment to fund the subject new bridge replacement project. Maine DOT share in the amount of $520,000 is included in the DOT work plan for 2018-19, pending the commissioner's signature later this month. The chief engineer indicated the department would be able to provide a letter indicating Maine DOT's commitment to fund the project in January once the work plan has been signed. So he just wanted to let you know that because you had asked for a letter of commitment, that will happen once they sign. He said, I think he told me that she mentioned because if the new bridge is on that work plan for 2018-19, a commitment, and he indicated that you guys wanted more of a formal letter of commitment, so that's what they're gonna do, so.
Christine, they moved it up a year. When he was in here, he said 1920, 2019, 2020. So obviously they've moved it up a year, which is a,
18, 19, it says, yeah, I always thought it was 19, but yeah.
yeah, it was 19/20 was what he said when he was here, so obviously they took your commitment pretty seriously, gonna move it up a
So is
year.
that a promissory letter that we're gonna get, a promissory?
That's what
letter?
he's saying, is once the
A
work plan is,
notification that we're gonna get a promissory letter.
well, he's saying
Yeah.
once the work plan has been signed, then there should be a letter indicating their commitment to it.
And it's supposed to be signing it right off, you said?
No, it says right in there, January.
So I'm not gonna worry too much about whether I'm gonna be crossing new bridges coming year.
No.
Well, it's not gonna happen until 2019 anyway, that's what he told us when he was here.
2018, he's saying now,
/
right?
19, pending on the commissioner's signature later this month, yeah.
Okay, so the next thing I have is, this is regarding the marijuana ordinance.
Public.
Thank you, Ron.
And this is Karen Garish's note to Paul Philbrook regarding it, the ordinance. So he wanted me to forward it to you. Her message is down near the bottom, I guess.
Interesting.
You guys are planning to go to the planning board meeting on the 12th at 6 o'clock, correct?
So when are we gonna hold that regular meeting?
At 3 on the 12th, regular time.
All right. Just checking.
Theirs is at 6, and I've asked Tommy to go too. They requested him to be there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mexican. Where did Paul go? Do I have to ask? Are you back? Okay, so I put in each of your mailbox, I put an email from Paul Philbrook regarding questions from the planning board, and copies of the moratorium draft for the marijuana and the lot size ordinance draft. So I put a note at the top to please read them,
Yes, I did see that.
because there's some items on this list that you probably want to address. So, all right, so, and it's like, the question came up whether or not the planning board has access to the town's attorney, because the planning board needs to funnel all legal requests through the select board. If not, what is the process? Did you guys discuss that with them?
For the attorney? No.
Yeah, okay. So that's something that, you know, needs to be addressed so that you can let them know how you want them to handle that.
Okay.
I think he's looking for answers, you know, as soon as he can, right, Jen?
Yes,
Okay.
concerning the moratorium.
And then,
Any legislation that we're considering changing should always be run by the lawyers before we accept it.
no, well, they're asking, I mean, if you read the email, you'll see what the questions are. They're asking.
Just making a statement.
Yep, they're asking if they can get access to the attorney. They wanted to also know when they need to finalize the grandfather lot ordinance so it can be presented for public vote. So please, everybody read this, and then you can make notes on them or whatever and get back to him or me or
We're gonna have a meeting with them, right?
next Monday, yep. So
They're
maybe
gonna
you can.
discuss that stuff during that
I
meeting?
really don't know, I don't have the agenda for that meeting.
Okay, just asking.
So maybe that's stuff that you can address at that meeting with them. I don't know what the agenda is for that meeting.
For the 12th? Yep, I have a copy here and I can make you other copies. Just give me one.
Well, I think I put those, didn't I put those in their mailbox?
I think so.
I think I did too.
I suppose I gotta go get my bail.
Christine, did you end up ever sending anything to them about the Hebo
I have
Harbor?
not.
If you can, I'm not really sure what to ask, but if you want me to send them an email, I will, just tell me what you're looking for.
Yeah, the title of the deed.
I mean, I think I can get this information, I can get that information for them. But don't we own a couple of lots on Hebo Harbor? So is there one in particular that they wanted to know about?
I think so. I'll find it.
All right, so, all right, I'll keep this and then you can talk to me about it if you
Yeah,
want. We can
yeah.
figure out which one it is and then I can ask them. We got a,
Must be rice. It's Royce's phone. Some brief entertainment.
so this is the generator preventive maintenance agreement.
Yes, yeah.
And they're asking that it be approved or signed, whatever, and sent back if that's what you're wanting to do.
Yeah, because they take care of all four of them, correct?
Yes.
Royce, your phone was going off. Gave us,
was?
yeah, it gave us all a
Oh my gosh, it
serenade.
didn't answer itself, did
You
it?
didn't, yeah, well, it stopped, so
Sorry.
something you did.
Sorry, folks. No charge for the entertainment, right?
So you guys, you guys probably have done the generator contractor before,
We had a hard time finding him.
you did, but was he decent? The generator contracts,
Generator maintenance.
maintenance?
I don't remember who we ended up with. I thought it was somebody else, and then this guy here has showed up. I don't know. Is he showing up?
Well, we just have a new contract to
He
sign.
sent,
No.
Yeah,
I want to, that's not what I'm asking. Is he showing up? Are they doing the maintenance that they're supposed to be doing?
Well, that's why I'm asking you, because I haven't been here, so I'm not sure if I'm assuming that.
I don't
You would-
know.
You would know, because they come and see you, right?
no.
So why don't you ask the treasurer who
So
pays the
let's
bill?
ask- Let's ask Jordan if he's paid any of the bills. and-
He would know if
There you
he's
go.
got a bill.
I'd like to know if we're getting service
Yeah,
too.
let me go ask
Especially
him.
if it's a new vendor.
I can ask you, Christine, while you guys are looking at that. He's not, I think he did it last year, he's not a new vendor, Same person that did it last year.
And just make sure he does it when he does it, I guess.
Make sure they're doing it, not just charging us for it. Last time Dan was handling it, and then all of a sudden it went a different way. I guess.
No idea.
I like knowing where the money's going. Like knowing if we're getting
Well,
services.
yeah,
if we're
smart
getting
rather than just signing a blank contract
Mm-hmm,
without
exactly.
knowing.
That's it. Yeah, finally. Your turn.
No, it's not mine.
Oh,
I thought it was, but it's not. Mine's on vibrate. I thought it was. Maybe it's Jen's.
It's on vibrate. So
Something's
I don't
just
know
gone.
why.
It just vibrated, that's all.
Oh, okay, it just vibrated.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
It was Royce's that went off. This is just singing today.
I shut the force thing off. That's pretty cool. Been so long since I've done it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's Sue's chair. You gotta come over here. Just skip the rope
Hi,
here.
Mike.
How you doing? Good. See ya.
Yeah, see our.
See ya.
Don't trip.
Don't trip.
Yes, I know you're caught.
So if you have it too, you guys must have it. 'Cause I think it's in my stuff, so you probably have it.
I'm gonna hold on signing it until I see a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
When I get that, when I get a chance to.
Schedule preventative maintenance on each.
Are we
system.
gonna, discuss that, we're gonna take our 3:30 appointment?
Well, she's just getting it from Jordan for a minute now.
And Mike might actually know something about it. Well, you're always with Dan, is why I figured. Generators, do you know anything about them servicing them or anything? You can't find the generator bills, obviously. Should take that long to pull a file.
See, fire is under that. Do they get charged separately on their budget?
Yeah.
And who else is the school? Does
Yeah,
the
rescue
school, do
fire.
they pick us back anything, or is that just
The
strictly us?
Hanson School, just us. Fire department, rescue, and then the town office.
So fire department is a fire department building, and the old rescue building is also a fire department building. So there's two generators to them.
And it says it shall provide scheduled preventative maintenance on each system, so we'll just see. He's
Well,
probably
who's
gotta go
paying
back
it?
into
Who's paying the bill?
archives.
That's
Well,
the question. Is this
okay.
coming, is it coming out of general government? Is it?
Well, we have
fire
generators,
budget?
It comes out of several.
we have a generator here, we have one at rescue, we have one at the fire department, and
Hanson School.
in the Hanson School. So what are your amounts that you have? 250 and 120?
It probably was.
Well, is that what it says?
It says
Are they
260,
maintenance or are
180,
they-
so-
Okay, so they've gone up, but what it was a major, PM for 250, and then a battery for 120,
Yeah,
so I
that's
don't
all
know.
listed in here too. then.
Is that one generator?
No, oh, that amount? Yes,
Yeah, one.
yes. So each of the generators for the major,
Yeah, she has them. Yeah.
maintenance was 370. And then at rescue, I don't know what this cold weather kit, I don't know if that's something they would have to replace again. It looks like, well, their contract doesn't specify that. That looks like it's just a major,
It
maintenance.
say who's paying for it? Where's it come, what's the
Well, each
cost center?
department, it's come out of each department where it's supposed to.
Right.
You don't know that until you look at
Okay,
it.
because that puts fire and EMS are taking care of two of them then, and the school is taking care of one.
No.
And general government is taking care of this one out here.
We pay
Oh,
for the
under the
school.
budgets, we pay for the school because it's ours over at the school.
The one at the school is ours.
Then that would come
Yeah.
out of general government.
Yeah.
So 200 general government,
But see,
200
it looks
and
like,
200 fire and EMS.
when did they come last time? Last year about this time, right? Yeah, they came on 11/4 and did them all, and serviced them all. That's probably why they need us to sign this.
No, they came, yes,
Yes.
yes.
So
And actually,
you've got two different cost bases there.
because if it's a major or a minor.
Yep.
If it's a major preventive maintenance or a minor preventive maintenance,
That's-
that's what the two prices
But
are.
that's not what I was talking about. What I was talking about is you've got fire and EMS that should be paying, that this bill should be billed to under one side,
Oh, it is.
and the other
This
part
is
would
just
be
the
general
agreement
government.
This
to
is the
do
agreement
it.
to do it.
That's not
It's a
Whose
contract.
name's on the agreement?
They're all listed on here.
I don't understand what you mean, it's the same
Town of
agreement that
Lebanon.
you guys signed last
Right.
year.
It's a
So
town
the town of
Lebanon.
Lebanon is paying for it. I understand.
Yes. We're signing an agreement, so
But
that way.
you're also, are we paying for, is it come out of the general
No.
government?
No,
Or is it-
everybody, everybody's
It's
department.
billed
when
to
it gets
each
done.
department. This is what you signed last year, which is exactly the same as that, except the price is a little bit more this year.
Mine doesn't have my signature.
It says Ben Thompson per board discussion. So, I guess, I don't know, but you guys must have agreed on it. It's probably in minutes somewhere. I don't know. I mean,
But what your question is, it's all, here's your reference in the bill, because it's all out of all different departments.
How many checks were issued?
yeah, I think that's
That
fair.
was,
We voted on
You signed it.
Probably voted
That's
to
your
one. Must
signature
have been
right
one of
there.
those meetings I missed. Did I sign it?
No, you signed to pay it,
Okay.
so, I don't know.
yeah, it's just a renewal contract to keep them.
Actually, if I might, you all agreed to that. You all voted on it. I don't know who signed it, but that was a unanimous vote, because if you remember, there was like several people you talked to, and nobody would take the job. Nobody wanted it, and then the
No,
one
we had
guy
people
wanted it.
promised to show up.
Right, and
Didn't.
nobody wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So you all did vote on that one guy, but you have to vote to change the price if his price has gone up.
So that's all this is to renew his contract. And his price has gone up just a little bit, but not a lot.
How much?
Well, it looks like
$10.
$10. I mean,
It is a little.
I haven't heard anything from, our generator's running fine, I'm okay with it.
Well, the thing is, Are they putting anything on those, you know, Mike? Are they signing any, a tag on them or anything, and let us know when they were there and checked them out? All we're getting is a bill, right?
Yeah, I don't know, I haven't heard anything.
I haven't either.
I'm sure that, I mean, we can talk about it.
Why is the question on all this? Because in the past, they had been neglected a lot, and we had paid out once or twice, and I'm not so sure that we got any service at all out of that once or twice.
I don't know.
There was,
You are correct, but that's a long time ago.
might be a long time ago.
You should be sure. Instead of just saying,
Shouldn't have no
I,
question about it.
you know.
I remember the guy.
I don't think it's this guy, no, I don't, but.
No, it
there's-
wasn't this guy.
But do we have a system in place to make sure that they are checked? Or will we find out the hard way like we did here right in this office one time about a year or so ago? Generator wouldn't start, the office was down.
Well, how about if we do this? How about if I make a motion that we accept this contract, and then, do you wanna contact him and see when he plans, do you wanna schedule, or have Sue call him and schedule it so they can be
No,
all?
I just wanna see something put in place here that says, that we know is a definite check on this, that makes sure that the generators are being done.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Sue can contact him and schedule the, you know, when does he plan on coming and
Are
checking?
they gonna leave us some
And-
kind of a tag, some kind, or put something on those generators to know, and have somebody initial it when the work is done, but they, at that time?
Well, they must have come in at that
So
time.
so we can actually check them and see?
They might, Royce, I'm not sure I've been able to look at the generators, but, I mean, we have to,
Not that I know of, but I haven't either.
okay, well, I'm gonna make a motion that we, accept the generator connections,
Proposition.
yes, his
Contract.
contract for this year, and then we can just have, Sue, you know, contact him to see when he plans on coming, to service them, because it says in the contract that they service them.
That doesn't sound like it's solving any problems.
Well, if we contact him to get a date when he's gonna service them, then we know he's coming, then you can go with
Are
him
they
to
gonna,
service them.
no, I shouldn't have to chase them around, nobody should have to chase them around, but there should be something on those generators to let
They
us
very well
know.
could be, Royce,
All right,
but I
now
mean,
let's find out if there is.
well, I'm gonna make a motion that we accept this and then we move forward. Does anybody second it?
Yep.
I'll sign.
No
All in
doubt.
All in
favor?
favor?
No,
Yep.
we need an explanation on it, we need to be able to tell.
But
when
you
they-
don't know
when they
without
were
going to
serviced.
look if there's anything on it, Royce. So
Right.
how can you say that without not even checking
Well,
it?
you guys can go look if you want, are you gonna go look, Sue?
You're the one with the
Okay,
problem.
okay, all right, well,
That's what I don't
I
understand.
just brought the problem out.
I'll go
that's
look
all.
at them tomorrow.
Okay.
May I speak on the issue? Why don't you tell the man, when he works on that evening, to come in and tell us?
Yeah, I will. I will put him, but nobody, you know,
Apparently
knows who to
not.
talk to. Yes, sorry.
It just sounds
Can you
like,
state your name for the record?
Why don't
My
you
name's
have-
Jason Sear.
Sorry.
and it sounds like a good idea to have a detailed invoice when they do a maintenance service, and that they should be required to tag the machine.
And they
have a
very well
detailed
could be.
invoice.
Okay, well, that's pretty easy to check, and I think when you contact the vendor, that you request that the machines be tagged every time they're serviced. That would-
And they probably very well are. I just haven't been out there to look at them, so we can go out and look at them and make sure, but.
I'm just amazed that you don't know before you sign the contract.
I'm not gonna sign something I don't know.
I don't
about.
blame you, Royce. It seems to be a little ridiculous.
Okay, the last thing I have, because Jason's waiting patiently for his time. A man from ServPro came in this week, just to give us this information. He said he could come in and talk to you guys. It's
Is it a solicitation for services?
not asking for any money, that's what I didn't quite get. I said, well, we're not gonna sign up for something, and he said, oh, no, you don't have to. It's just so that
Then
you know that we're in the area if you need us. I said, okay, thank you.
sounds to me like if somebody's just trying to solicit without saying they are.
Well, whatever it is, I didn't commit to anything, and I said, thank you very much for your information, and I'll pass it on.
Thank you for being polite to us, Lou.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now, Jason,
I came to the meeting because, I'm gonna say about a year and a half ago, my neighbor started building a large shed in front of my house.
It was a year ago.
And, okay, approximately. And I came to Mike and mentioned it because it was real close to the road, and I wanted him to push it back or not build it. And then I came back and filed a formal complaint, and nothing was done. And I came back and I saw the selectmen approximately 10 months ago and was told that it's winter time, we'll take care of it in the spring, he'll move it. I said, fine, and all summer I saw him building a foundation behind it, so I assumed he was gonna move the shed. And then the other day, I hear some banging and he's building an addition on the shed, approximately doubling the size from 12 by 20 to 22 by 20 or something. And I'm curious that he can build this after official complaint when it's too close to the road and he never got a permit.
That
Well,
meeting now?
elaborate, answer
Yeah,
this
so
way.
his first shed doesn't require a permit. It falls under the 200 feet or less square foot, okay, for needing a permit. And I apologize, I don't know why I couldn't print the pictures out so you can look at it, but I'd like you to look at the pictures. It has some explanation of why on David Ball's land, that's what we're talking about, David Ball. His land, his photography, it goes, is a plateau, then it goes down, then down, then down. When he came to me, he said he wanted to put a shed, a 10 by 20, which is 200 square feet, didn't need a permit, and he showed me where he wanted to put it. I allowed that, because it's impractical, and I'll show you where here in the code, it's impractical to put it down, and it gets wetter as it goes down back of his house, so it's impractical to put the shed there. He wanted a shed for his lawnmowers and his tractor, so let me get here's a picture, you can pass this around. Now, the lean-to that he's building on the back of that, what he's doing is he's increasing the size of his shed. You can't do that, because now he's gone over the 200 square foot, whether it be a lean-to or an addition onto the shed, it's all one structure. It's the wife. Sorry. Sorry about that.
It's okay. You're not the first one tonight. I left the room when I got it.
So, let's see if we get another picture. And by no means is he a carpenter, but it's his shed. My job is to make sure that even though it's kind of a mess, structurally it's sound. Okay, the shed is, his lean-to is not. His lean-to has to come down. You can't have that. He had come into my office regarding that lean-to, okay? And I told him that if he wanted to increase that, you have to go over my head and go to the appeals board to see if they would grant him the variance to increase the size of that shed.
I guess my question would be too, and I think a lot of it might have to do, and get me if I'm right or wrong, is it because it's close to the road? What is
30 feet. It's 30 feet from the road.
So it is
He claims
within,
it's 50.
No, it's not.
I know it's not.
Yeah, so it's 30 feet, but I knew that.
and how many feet is it supposed to be from the road?
50.
So that is the question right there.
Right, and being practical, he can't put it down into his wet area down.
Well, I get that, but should he have gone to the appeals board to begin with?
How do you get a permit?
That's what I'm saying.
He didn't get a permit, he didn't need a permit.
You didn't need a permit, but
Right.
in fairness though, I mean, I think the question is how close to the road it is. Not that he needs a permit or not a permit. I think
Right, so
it's
that would be the
close
next
to
step. If the board wanted to go over, supersede this, then contact Mr. Ball and have him go to the appeals board.
Okay,
And I'll present the same case to the appeals board as well.
but I think maybe he probably should have gone to the appeals board first. I think we did it a little bit
It
back.
doesn't have to, okay? Right here, on the modifications, whenever there are practical difficulties involved in carrying out the provisions of this code, the building official shall have the authority to grant modifications for individual cases. We don't have any local ordinances that says, that supersede that.
I think it just gets sticky when we're saying everybody else has to be 50 feet from the road, but because of his situation, but we make other people go to the appeals board to begin with.
Right, just because the land doesn't conform to his wishes, doesn't mean he should get the ability to put a building out by the street when nobody else should. Nobody else can, you need a 50-foot setback.
So I guess the question is, how can we rectify?
We can have,
Easily, yeah.
he'll have to go to the appeals board.
Well, the original shed was already granted, right? I mean, you can't go,
Well, he
you
didn't need
can't
a
go
permit
backwards.
Because of the size. He didn't need a permit for this.
Right, but you can't go backwards and make him take
No,
that
he
down
can't.
now after the building inspector let him put it up.
Right, according to
But he
this.
can't add
But
on,
as far as the
right?
lean-to, I've already talked with David, he has to go in front of the appeals board if he wants to add on to that building, because now it doesn't conform to the building size.
Doesn't
Without having
conform to the
a permit.
setback, period. And I alerted you as soon as he started building that building to the setback. And I've never been on his property, I never measured the building. I can tell it's 20 feet in the front, I just assumed it was 12 by 20. But if you're telling me it's 200 square feet, it's 200 square feet.
Yeah, I was out there today.
Okay.
So I guess, I mean, what do you?
He's going to the appeals board
He is going to the.
for the
appeals
additional
board.
size on that.
Now, this excerpt is on.
He actually has to take it down because it structurally, it's not supposed to be pulled like that.
This excerpt that says that it's up to the code officer,
Yeah,
it's up to your discretion, is from the national code,
yeah, international.
the
International
international
resi-
code.
Yeah, international residential code. It's been adopted by Munich. Let me have David come in, I'll chat with him about it.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess, I mean. His whole piece of property is wet and downhill, the whole thing.
Yeah, he needs
Yeah,
one
that's
down, I
fine.
think there's
The
I
point
think there's
is,
a stream or a river down there.
the point is that it's up to his discretion. And that's true of any other,
Oh, I
any other
understand that,
person
Russ.
in town that's in
I-
the same situation, any other landowner.
I understand, I just wanna
And
make sure
we
we're
have to be treating them
consistent.
all the same way.
That we're consistent with all landowners. I mean, if we're gonna
That's
do this
what I'm
for
saying.
one,
Sure,
then
it's
we're
just-
gonna have to do it for all of them if
If
somebody
the
else is.
circumstances require.
Yes. And I mean, you got 2 acres, that's a pretty big, he must have 2+ acres, he's got 2.
6.
So, I mean, that's a pretty big lot to not have any other place that he could have put that shed.
Goes down pretty readily.
I disagree, he could have moved it to the left. He could have put his house 150 feet to the left. I tried to buy the property off him because he put his house right smack in front of me. He refused to sell to me. That's part of the issue here. And when I thought he was gonna move his shed, I heard a big bang last week. I go outside and I see he's building the addition. So I drove by in disbelief, because I thought this had been resolved over about a year ago, that he was gonna move it or something. And then he literally chased me up my driveway, accosted me, and then he told me, I want this on the record, that somebody's messing with him, somebody's knocked his wood pile over, he got 2 flat tires, and they unscrewed a light bulb on his house. And he looked at me and said, what comes around goes around. And I said, dude, I've never been on your property, I never did this, you're barking up the wrong tree. And that's,
I think that we need to stop this discussion now,
Yeah, 'cause he's not
because you're
here.
making
Defend himself.
accusations about somebody,
Yeah.
and they're not present here, and that whole statement needs to be stricken.
Mm.
I'm sorry, but it does.
I apologize, I didn't
Not a
realize.
problem, without the other person there to defend themselves. I
So
know you,
I
I know
guess-
you'd want that.
I mean, moving forward, from what I understand and what I'm hearing from Mike is, we cannot change that it's as close as it is to the road, but we can change about that addition he's putting on there.
Yeah.
So that's the road that we need to go down,
Mhm.
because we don't have any ordinances or anything to do that, and Mike has overseen that and let him put that close to the road. He has that authority to do that, so. I guess we can't move his shed, but we can make sure he doesn't put the wrong addition on there
Well, you can't put an addition at all.
at all, that's
At
okay,
all,
good,
in that place, it just downright flat, can't do it at all.
okay.
Because it was put there under special conditions, again, he can't modify that. Otherwise, then it would go right to the appeals board and overrule, they could overrule me.
Well, I'd like to argue that there is another spot for that shed, and two, I filed an official complaint as soon as he started building it,
I have it.
regarding the setback. And anybody can walk over there and see that the shed did not have to go right there. There's plenty of other land, and he certainly could have brought in some fill. He's brought in truckloads for his addition.
Yeah, I haven't been there, so I mean, you know, we can't step backwards, I mean, the shed is where the shed is.
The man needs to be able to come in here and defend himself.
And we made that.
We've gone too far with the meeting already.
I mean, the only point that I would make is in the future, you may wanna consider sending people, if they're within like that, just so you don't end up with this, to the appeals board to begin with, no matter what. That way, you have other documentation behind you, whether they agree or don't agree, and it's
That's what
documented.
the board wants.
I mean, I think that's probably, you know, that backs you a little bit better, as
Yeah.
well as us and
Sure.
them. I mean, that's an unfortunate situation, but I don't think the shed's gonna be moved. What we do know is that he won't end up with an addition on it, unfortunately. So that's my, recommendation, you know, of that, finding out the information that we have now. But, yeah. I mean,
So I'll contact David Ball anyway about that addition.
Yeah.
He has been in here, he said he was gonna go to the appeals board, but we'll kind of pave his path for him. Either he takes it down or he goes in front of the appeals board.
when did you talk to him last?
About a week ago.
Did you give him any type of formal letter stating
I
that he
gave
needs
him-
to remove it? Or have you just verbally talked to him so far?
I gave him the application for the appeals board.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, but you haven't heard a thing from him?
No. I was there today, I was kind of opening up into him today.
Maybe we need to write him a letter, Mike,
Sure.
stating that, you know, you need to remove that or make your appointment by such and such a date, you know, so many days to the appeals board so they can
Sure.
do this and get it rolling so we can at least get that part finished.
Sure.
up. So
Yeah.
I think that would be the best bet to at least approach the addition, because that's all we can approach it
Right.
at this point, so.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all
Thank you, Madam Chair, thank you, Lloyd.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mike.
So,
And thank you, Mr. Seer.
thank you. So, while I'm here, can I get your attention?
Yeah.
At my board meeting last night, this is for after the first of the year, the Board of Selectmen over in Milton wanted extended an invitation to the Board of Selectmen in Lebanon. A joint meeting for discussion on how we're going to tackle that European naiad, because it's getting to a serious state now. So we thought we'd join, because we share the same lake. So we figured sometime after the first of the year, if you'd be interested in coming over to our place over there, we'd be happy to work on this with you.
Sure, I think that's great,
Okay.
because we're both in the same boat when it comes down to
Yeah.
weeds growing
So,
all
Well,
over.
if they keep growing, we won't have
What do you have
any
for
building.
refreshment?
That's right, yeah.
I'll bring you some refreshments.
Absolutely.
Four is
you.
fine. I'm very good. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
Don't trip.
No, it's fair.
I know, I gotta keep reminding you though.
I trip all the time, make
Oh.
a mistake.
I was over your way today.
I've got so far, I've got the budgets that I've received,
Okay.
which isn't a bunch, but it's a few, that's all.
She labels them all, so I know I got the right one.
The other thing I wanted to mention, is I have a folder of occupancy permits that whenever you guys have time that you want to grab them, I'll make copies for you, and you can start assessing.
Okay,
Okay? Paul? Sound good? Did you hear me?
No.
give me a copy, we got ready to go.
All right, oh well.
Yeah, talking about new stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, occupancy permits that have come in since April 1st.
Okay.
Christine, I have a question. Did that well ever get tested? That was supposed to be done in October?
The well is in the process. I think we finally got a hold of the people so that it will get tested shortly.
You did?
Yeah. Paul went there 5 times. didn't you?
Yes.
I went, and the lady's is gonna get in touch with Sue. I told her.
And
she
it's
was
been
at-
over a week and I still haven't heard
Yeah, I
a
know.
word.
And
Just
I
so
went,
you
I
know.
made 5 trips.
Yeah. Well, thank you for going back a bunch of times. I've been nervous about that because, you know, if somebody gets sick and we didn't get it tested, it's on us, so.
Yeah, and we have record that he's been there and he spoke to her and hopefully we'll start again. We're gonna have to start again calling her and saying when's a good time to get that. I mean, it's just as easy as having.
She knew Sue, she says, I'll call her. I thanked her, and that was it.
Yeah.
Excuse me for a minute, I'm gonna go up to my vehicle and get a budget book. We should be looking at those when we're looking at the budgets, right?
You would think.
Betty's isn't in there, is it? I called her and asked her for it, because I know the day she was in here talking to you guys. But she didn't formally give me anything, so.
I have the library fees and conservation, recreation.
Yep, she hasn't given it to me yet.
So when are we gonna have the department heads in here to discuss these budgets?
Whenever we can schedule them, I'm sure.
So this is just information for now?
This is just information, but we gotta get them
Okay.
scheduled because we've
Which
got
is
to.
on the
get
expense
moving.
reports anyways, right?
I don't know what you have to report, so
No, this would be additional.
this is the new wages, but I'm gonna see if,
And that's been the procedure right along every year here, hasn't it, that we have a department head in, we see
Yes.
what they want.
yeah, but we asked for them, by the 15th and then, so we could get them.
Right.
and look
So
at
you
them.
could get them and then you can schedule them.
Yeah.
So you have a chance to look at them before you schedule them.
Well, this one here is incomplete, right?
So, let me just, I'm gonna ask Jordan to come in and see if he can put these on, these budgets like this.
Yeah,
So that way
that's a
we'll
real
have-
good idea, so we
If,
can
when
do
you
it.
get them, we can have,
Jordan? Can you come here for a second?
And I haven't given them to him, so that's probably.
no, that's why. If we give you, you know, these budgets that have come in, can you put them
I'll put them on
on,
Excel for you guys. So you can
Like
look at it
this?
easier. Yep.
you know, like they used to be, so,
I'll make
okay.
copies for you.
So
Yeah,
Sue
just
will
maybe a
give you a
copy and I'll
bunch,
put
and
them
that
on
way we
there,
can
yeah.
really look at what was last year and this year, and, you know, how this, the budget, and how it goes across.
Yep.
You know, okay, perfect, thank you.
You want an example of how it was set up last year?
I think he has it.
He already has that.
He has it, I think, already, because he's got a couple in here that he's done for people that have come in to see him, so. I thought I had a couple more, too.
You had more?
No, no, well,
Because if you have others, I'd like to get copies of them.
I'll check. The ones that we had discussed and changed should probably go in there like that,
Oh,
too.
are those Betty's?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I did have them, see, so I'll have.
Well,
Jordan-
no, that's okay that you had them, but I wanted to ask her, did ask her for,
I'll have him do them all the same way.
All
Oh,
right.
do you want to do
Yeah,
that with the
I
rest of
want
that
these.
packet? Because that way it's consistent across the board for all of us, and you can put them right back in the book the way they should be.
We should be able to
So-
build these books right down through,
Yeah.
and then we go over it with the budget committee.
Yeah, and then I also wanted to put attach the expense report for them too, just,
Holy Mary, Mother of God, I'm sorry. This should have been done in October, Rice. I'm looking at you.
Should have started a while back, yeah?
Well, last year we ran late and you started in October, and now it's December.
I'm not the chairman of the board.
I know.
I'm just a selectman.
Right. How long did you wind up staying on Sewell Shores Road yesterday?
Hmm.
How long did you wind up staying on Sewell Shores Road yesterday?
Probably about, I think around 20 minutes.
No. I went by there today. It looked a lot
You
better.
had another phone call from me afterwards.
I did? I didn't answer you.
You didn't acknowledge, you didn't acknowledge it. No, and maybe it didn't go through.
Oh, yeah, probably in that area, they
But
oftentimes
I
don't.
had called and said that I had driven back out of there.
Well, that was amazing, because I don't know how you did it.
Those guys did a wonderful job in a very short time.
But that's the point, is that I shouldn't have had to been involved, and neither should you.
Well,
So
I
that's-
certainly hope I get a call if there's a problem.
I know,
with
but I'm just
anything like
saying,
that.
you got the call, and you were lied to, because when we went out there, we found out it was not true.
That whole situation has been corrected
Okay,
and will be further corrected if necessary.
okay.
so I also asked Jordan to put the up-to-date expense report with each one, so we can actually just review down through what they've spent already and kind of give us a good insight of what's happening there, to make sure that when they put their new budget in, it's pretty accurate.
I had written
So-
out a expense
I'm dying.
report for everything already,
My
but
It is hot in here.
Put that on there.
Christine, you do know that Budget Committee is planning to start reviewing these budgets in
Yes.
January, right?
Yes.
Because there's none to review yet.
No, well, we have a couple, we do, we have finished.
Betty's.
we haven't gone
Yeah.
through that process,
Right,
Betty's
that's
we
what I'm
have.
saying.
but we didn't have all our paperwork done.
No,
Right.
but I mean, we were pretty
So it's
comfortable.
not done, Christine.
Well,
Really, we should be doing it.
But she
following
had
these
her
ones through.
previous whatever and all of her, she had hardly any, she didn't have any expenses. She had the right paper when she brought hers in. She had the expense paper.
Well, I'd like to have
So-
copies and,
Yeah. And we have to get them for us, so. thank you.
so,
You're welcome.
do we have a 3-hole punch in here anymore?
No, it's up front, you want me to go do that?
Why is it up front?
If we use it up,
That's where it always is.
So since we're talking about the Budget Committee, Christine, did you decide if you were putting me as alternate or
we did
to?
that already.
I know you appointed me, but you said you wanted to wait until this week to tell me whether it was gonna be as alternate or to take over the seat vacated by Karen
It's
Garrett?
alternate until we get the letter from Karen, and Sue did contact her, correct, Sue?
I did, and somebody was supposed to come in Friday, and I have not seen anybody.
So if you wanna call her again, she did contact, I believe, her husband, and they were supposed to bring us that little written piece of paper, so you're in as an alternate at this point, we did have that.
Okay, I just want to tell you, right now Corinna is the alternate. I mean, I haven't been sworn in yet because Dale said she was waiting for you guys to tell her which one. But Corinna is the alternate, and I spoke to Corinna and I said, did she want to take over the full seat and me take the alternate? But she stated to me she'd rather stay as the alternate because her alternate seat is, like, she just got elected to it, so she's there for 3 years, and if she takes over the seat vacated by Garish, she would have to be up for re-election again in May, and she didn't want to do that,
Well,
so.
let's just, if she's the alternate, then let's just see if Sue can get her to write that letter. I mean, I don't know what the next step is if because you're supposed to have it in writing.
What are you gonna do about the go-ahead numbers at short then?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm trying to do. She's gonna call Gil again this week and see if we can just get that little note. If I have to, I'll go over there. We're gonna have to, and just have her write something quickly up and say, I'm not gonna come. I mean, we're gonna have to if she doesn't bring it. But let Sue call them again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
Well,
see,
Thursday.
or Thursday, and see if they'll get in here Thursday or Friday. And then if not, then we can make that decision and just put you on as a regular board, you know.
Yeah, because Corinna, who has the choice to go into that vacated seat, said she would rather stay as the alternate because then she doesn't go up for re-election
How long
again
is
for
that seat good
3
till?
years.
Now, how long was her seat good till?
Hers goes up for re-election in the
In
spring,
the spring,
right,
so.
yeah. So I would,
You
so if
fill
I
that
took over
seat,
that
Then you have
seat,
to run again, yes.
correct, so I would basically be in for this budget
Yeah.
season and then in the spring have
You
to run again.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, we'll call again, Thursday, and then.
So should I get sworn in and get the budget book, or should I still wait?
I would just wait until, I'll have Sue call Thursday, Sue, you'll let me know.
Yeah.
If not, then I'll just stop on my way home, you know, over there and make sure that they just write me something on a sticky note, for goodness sakes.
Just
Sign
get it over with.
Get it over with, this is
I
ridiculous.
know, in 2 years, she hasn't sat there and they've left that seat vacant. I don't understand it.
Okay. So that one's set. And these. All right. That's me. If I flip it over, maybe it won't ring.
I didn't even hear it.
Okay, so, I mean, this is from way back when, we need to do something about the MetroCast, the Cablevision franchise agreement. And I've got to call Mary tomorrow, I don't know if, because she had emailed back a little bit ago, but although the warrant article is clear, the board only has the authority to enter into contracts of no more than 3 years. I do have some questions before determining whether that applies to the cable franchise agreement. Renewals of franchise agreements are governed by federal law. In the draft renewal agreement, it states that the MetroCast filed on a renewal request in 2013. She would like to, can you provide me with the information regarding the process of the following renewal request? I would also like to see the 2006 franchise agreement. So I guess I need to get her that franchise agreement so we can see if we can sign the franchise agreement as a 10-year agreement.
Probably should have been up
Is this it
there
right
long
here?
as
Yes.
going out.
That's the new one. I mean, the old one.
Oh, that's the new one?
I think so.
No,
Or is
it's
that-
not.
Oh, that's the old one. That's
That's
the one we
the
sent
old
one,
one.
isn't it?
Wow.
We did send her that, didn't we?
Yeah.
All right, so she does have that. So let
I'm
me just.
certain you did.
Yeah, and I thought we had, because we sent her all that stuff. So let me just contact her tomorrow and see if she's got any other development, so we can get that done.
Considering, isn't it up in 3 days? Isn't it, what is it, December 8th or December 15th?
I'm not sure, I'd have to double check, I have it somewhere.
It's like within the next week or so.
It is,
That
it is.
it should be signed.
Right, yes. Yep.
Can I just say something about that too? The fella said if you couldn't sign for 10 years, that they'd be willing to do a year by year just extension to the current agreement. And with the fiber optic cable coming in through Sanford, I don't know that you want to sign 10 years exactly as is, because they have all that new fiber optics, which is going to be able to bring in more and different internet companies. So if they'll just extend it for a year while you research, maybe you'd be better off to sign it for a year and not 10.
Maybe.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah. All right, so let me call her in the morning and see, and talk to her, so that way we can get to that. See what she says about.
Did you want to sign it for another 10 years?
I'm not sure. I mean, I've done a little bit of research on it. I haven't dug right in deep into it, but, you know, after the discussion that we had when they were here, I don't think anyone else would really want to, I mean, you'll get some people that'll want to, but they won't be able to take over those lines. That's the question, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know exactly the depth of that contract, the whole contract.
Well, the depth of the contract is it locks you into only one company for another 10 years, and where there have been so many complaints and stuff, and where you had people in here talking to you about all the new fiber optic cable coming into Sanford, and perhaps talking to them about extending that into Lebanon, but I haven't heard anybody say whether or not they've looked into that or seen whether it's going to be available to us while they are putting it in. It might be an option to talk to them about.
Could be. Yeah, so I'll call Mary in the morning and see where that stands and where we should go with that, and maybe get a little bit more discussion about that stuff, so. And personally, if they'll change the language to 3 years, then I would sign a 3-year contract and then go from there and see what happens. But, let's see what that says and what it means.
The last time that he was in here, he said they didn't want to do it 3 year, that they would extend it year to year on a year-to-year basis, but he didn't want to do for 3 years. So maybe just ask for an extension while you figure this all out, considering that they're waiting for an answer by next week.
Probably.
Hmm.
Does have any other questions about that MetroCast? Joyce?
Let me know what you find out tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll call her in the morning.
Or have her, she can email me.
Yeah, I'll have her CC you. Okay,
Sounds
she'll email students. Okay. Any other business?
Nope.
Are you asking
You wanna do
public
it?
too?
You wanna do it?
No, wait.
Wait.
I said, are you asking public if we have other business?
Yes.
Okay, so my my other business, I just wanted to alert you guys that I had talked to you and told you I was going to do that holiday lighting competition. I only had one right off the bat applicant and one that came in kinda late, but I was gonna accept it if we had others, but I only wound up with 2 applicants, so I canceled it, and I just wanted to let you guys know in case you heard from somebody like, what happened?
No.
That's why I only got 2 applicants, it's not worth anybody's
I
time
won't
to,
have to light up my little ceramic tree now.
you know I'm coming to judge your tree.
It's up now.
But I just wanted to let you know why, and I also wanted to let you know that I'm more than halfway with the fundraising for the extractor unit.
Okay.
So, I mean, it goes slow, and I go do raffles, and I spend $100 on raffle stuff and make $20, but, you know, it's coming honestly, though, at least, and, you know, people say to me, like, you should just take $100 out of every check and just throw it in there, because, you know, it's better than $20 on the raffle, but at least we're doing something, and getting the word out there that we need it, so... that's that. And the other thing is I just wanted to say how disappointed I was. I was looking forward to seeing all you guys at the tree lighting ceremony on Sunday, and none of the town selectmen came, and I just want to tell you I was disappointed not to
Tree
see you.
lighting where?
West Lebanon Center. You know, every single year.
I don't normally go through West Lebanon, so I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Hey, there's supposed to be a blood drive. When's that?
The blood drive is on the 14th.
Day after tomorrow?
No, next week.
Okay.
Yeah, the blood drive is on the 14th. It's from 12 noon to 5. And I'm going to be serving pasta with either traditional
Which
meat
station?
sauce or a chicken Alfredo sauce.
Station 2 again?
Blaisdell Corner Station, right?
Blaisdell Corner.
Blaisdell Corner Station.
Same thing.
Station 2, yes, on 202. Yeah.
We get turned from number 1 to number 2.
Yeah, so there'll be food there, and everybody's encouraged to attend and to call for an appointment, because then you don't wait as long. You have your appointment, right? You have your appointment? Good job.
I won't be in town, or else I would go. I have to go like in Alfred, because that's when I'm coming through, not Alfred, but.
When is it?
Waterboro or-
The 14th, so it's a week from tomorrow. Yeah.
That's what's always hard.
You
for
know
me.
what I got?
What do you got?
I got my own blood pressure and all that stuff. My own. This is junk.
So you're gonna bring
They
yours?
had me down at 92 degrees.
Wow.
I'd be dead. No, I'd be sleeping. And then they couldn't get my pulse. They had my pulse at 35.
What the
Oh
heck?
my God.
So I knew there was something wrong. I went out and I had the girl in the station check it. It was 47. So I got my own thing.
So you bringing it with you?
Oh, yes.
Good job. There you go. So what time is your
Is it
appointment?
signed by the Surgeon
You
General?
made it for 12.
12 o'clock, that's right.
Is it sanctioned by the Surgeon General? It is sanctioned by the Surgeon General. It's medical equipment.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Dana?
Wait a minute. You got...
Go ahead.
No, I was going to make a
Okay.
motion to...
I got one more thing after him too.
Question on the MetroCast and the cameras.
Yes.
Where does that stand at the present? I think Mike was saying that he was gonna try to have someone come in this week with the,
Well, I'd have to review it with Mike, but we also have a bill. Well, not a bill, but a bill
received
of
a check.
materials of summary. I think this is, I gotta ask Mike, because I'm not sure. Total materials, total labor, total project
65.
cost, 61,
Yeah.
57, 25. So what I need to know is that
We need to come up with some money,
we need to come
Yeah.
up with some money. We need to
which
decide,
is in federal government, by the way.
yes.
That's going to be next June anyway.
What?
No,
No, this is
No,
for the
you shouldn't have
televisions in
to.
here. We already got the check, I believe, for
Yeah, but there's
4,000.
not enough money, is there?
No, but
there's not enough money in
There
general
is
government?
we can
There
take
better
it.
be. You're in trouble.
money in the check.
There isn't enough money that we received from the grant to cover the whole process.
Right.
We could take some if we chose to, which we haven't talked about yet.
I might also add to you that the voters did already
They did
vote and they
appropriate, yes.
they
Quite a while,
appropriated money
couple
for
years
that.
ago.
Yeah, so that should still be
2013,
sitting
I
there
think.
waiting for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
We did
The money
appropriate
should be
money for
there.
that, so.
right. So-
And I have that somewhere in this pile of MetroCast. I'm gonna dig through all this MetroCast stuff tomorrow, and then we'll have to make a motion on how we wanna go forward with that on next week. So we'll have to make sure we put that on the agenda, which we're gonna have MetroCast on there anyways.
do I have to make a motion that we make a motion next week?
No, you don't have to make a motion, we make a motion next week. But we'll talk, we'll put it on the agenda for next week, because we need to make a decision. Because I do have the bill
Yeah.
here, the proposed bill. You guys must have a copy of that too, that Sue would have given you.
Well, the guy gave them to everybody.
So that's good, so we can get the cameras and all that stuff going.
And the only other last thing I want to say is that, you know, your fire department did in 3 days, 5 parades with our mutual aid towns, and they had a great
How many
showing.
calls did they answer with EMS, same weekend?
That is not my job. I don't know that. That's not my job. I'm there,
That's just as
I'm,
important as going
that's
to
right, and you can bet that
parade.
they didn't call a mutual aid person for one of them. I will bet you that right off the top.
So
But
what?
they went and did 5 parades.
Great.
They had a great showing with Smokey the Bear riding in the car, and all the kids loved him.
Where'd
They
they get
told
the bear?
information. I have no idea. I do know Smokey was at Chief's wedding, so I would assume they probably got him from the same place. But they did a great job. They did a really great job, and I was really
Is that-
proud of them.
Is that a donated beer now? Does that belong to Lebanon Fire or EMS?
I don't believe it does.
Okay.
But you would have to ask the chief that. I don't get involved in the
Well,
chief's
I'd like to have him in here on the
finances.
carpet about some of this, because he should be letting us know if they're gonna go to that many parades and things like that ahead of time.
Well, it was on his
Maybe he'd have
schedule
to-
on his Facebook page. That's how I knew where to find
I don't
them.
do Facebook.
Well,
What does he do for the board?
that's where all of your meetings get listed, is on the internet too, so, you know, you can't find them really anywhere else.
Right now, my internet is down, so I can't be getting anything, or sending anything out.
I mean, I'm just saying, your agenda is on the internet and not posted anywhere.
Okay.
That's where his agenda is too, is on the internet and not posted anywhere, but, I mean, maybe you guys as selectmen should have maybe known it. I can't say that, but I'm just saying, he posts it the same place the town
I
posts
saw
it.
him in here tonight, he should have said something. I'm sure there's more up and coming parades and things.
Actually, you know what, I don't think there is, because it was Berwick, Dover, Rochester, Sanford, I mean, everybody had their parade this week.
Everybody.
I'm
When
telling
did
you.
Lebanon have theirs?
Why?
When?
Why? No, say why, Royce, and I'll tell you. Why? Lebanon doesn't get to have a parade.
In a case like that, I'll say no comment.
Well, I should have said no comment too, because it,
You all set?
Continuing, Boston cane display case.
Yeah, we talked about that several times, and we still haven't gotten to anything. And I think I'm gonna double check with, the clerk, because I think that she was looking to see if she could find any information too, but I will double check with her. Before I go, I'll ask her if she's got anything on that Boston King.
I got a suggestion of a place you might look. I'll talk to her about that.
is it still
Do you
like
wanna bring
stuck
it
up
You wanna
under the
talk to her
end?
about it, about the Boston King, see if she's got any information
About a
on
case, about where to look.
I have an idea.
But you can ask her. when
There's a
you go.
possibility that where this table came from,
Yeah,
but I don't know for sure.
because I know that she was gonna do some.
I know the gentleman
some
had a
digging.
very big stock down there, and he treated us really well on this table.
So you're gonna ask her if she has found anybody that
Oh,
would be
for-
entitled to the
to be
Boston
entitled,
King.
yeah. Oh, I thought you meant about a case for it.
Well, we need to get a case for it also, we talked about that too, but, we were looking for someone who was the oldest one, I think we had put it out there, but we hadn't gotten any
But
information.
also,
So-
so how long does it take to get those plaques made too? Do they need like a month or something? Can you?
Those little brass plaques, you
They
can
don't
have them
take
done
long.
almost immediately.
I think it was like a month or 6 weeks.
I don't think it took quite that long.
No.
I can check.
Okay, all right.
I'd be surprised if it took a week,
We'd
just
wanna
go to
get
the
that
trophy
going,
shop.
too. And when we found out who it was, we could just have them,
Yeah.
a phone call and put a name on it.
So do you wanna talk to Dale if she's found anybody? Do you wanna talk to her about that?
I'll ask her about
Yeah,
that, sure.
and see what, okay, yeah, good.
Continuing, the other Lebanon Bridge, where the car went off Has, any
You
meetings
mean
been set up?
the state-owned bridge down there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Has
We have
anyone
nothing
set
to
up
do with it.
meetings with the sheriff's department, state police, in
We have
regard
not.
to?
They did put some signs out there that say, I think they say slow down before sharp corner or something. That's about all that is probably gonna happen right there at that bridge. Hopefully people will,
Yeah, it's a historic district. I don't think that they can alter it too much anyway.
yeah, I'm not sure, so. But they did put some signs up. There is some
Yeah, I
signs up
saw
there that
them.
weren't there. They did a nice job.
And I
with
will
that,
say
you know.
this, as a public
So, we did
statement,
not.
it's been proven that very often these accidents that happen are due to speed and also misuse of alcohol and or drugs.
And texting.
Check the police records,
Mhm.
the state police.
And texting.
Royce was,
All driver inattention for different reasons.
Royce was concerned about, the duties of the state police and the, sheriff's
Sheriff's.
department. And was gonna be a meeting in regard to that. My suggestion was to have both come at the same
Well,
time.
the sheriff doesn't even cover us anymore. It's just the state police. So, I mean, the sheriff doesn't cover us.
No, the discussion came as part of the
We're paying
marijuana.
something to the.
Yeah. When we were all in here talking about the marijuana stuff, Royce had asked that both of them come in because we pay money to the county every year. And Royce was under the impression that part of that included coverage by the sheriff's department. And we're not receiving any of that. And you had said that you were going to either ask them to come in and explain.
Well, I'd have to go
You
back
know?
and look and see what the minutes say, but I know
Yeah.
the state police cover us. There was a change done.
Yes, I
Even
know
though
that.
They're the only ones that cover us, the sheriff
That's
does
right.
not. Even though we have to pay York County because of the 911, I believe that's where.
Right, everybody gets that, but the question was, what are we paying the county for? Because in that statement about the county, it also says sheriff's department is part of that. So if we're not getting any services from the sheriff's department, why are we continuing to pay the sheriff's department as law enforcement in town?
Well, I'd have to look and go back and see what the contract
Yeah, but-
says, because it has to do with the, go ahead, Paul, because you probably know more about it than I do.
What we pay the county is for everything.
Including the sheriff's
Right.
department, who is no longer coming here.
But there's an agreement that was made between the sheriff's department and the state police, and I believe it must have been us also, you know.
I know about
They would only
the,
cover,
Yeah.
that's, the state police is the only.
right, I got that whole thing, I was here for that meeting. What I'm asking you is, if the state police are now our only law enforcement, why are we still including money for a sheriff's department in
Because
county
I think it
payments?
covers, I would have to double check, but I believe it would cover your dispatch, your 911 dispatch and all that went through sheriff's department to some degree. I would have to look.
Yeah, that goes right through
But,
the state police.
um,
I mean, it was Royce that brought it up, but I did go and read it, and it does say that county,
Okay.
it does say that county money, the money that we spend there, part of what that gets spent for is sheriff's department. So that had been Royce's question, but notoriously with this board, we have like questions that keep getting left open-ended, and you guys keep saying like, we'll look into it. And Dana's been kind of following along and keeping a written record of everything that you guys keep saying you're gonna look into and we never get answers for. And this is one of them. And again, it was Royce's question, what is the money that we're paying into the county that is supposed to include sheriff's department? You know, what is that going toward? The extra money that we used to pay for sheriffs, what is that going toward now?
Well, I can't answer you. I would have to pull the contract. I don't
I
know.
would say somebody from the county's gonna answer that, and I'm not.
Well, yeah,
I was hoping somebody
that
would
was where
volunteer.
you were out of the room, but that was where.
Volunteer to go check.
No, I volunteer enough, Royce. I volunteer enough. But his question was, there was supposed to be a meeting that was supposed to be set up to have somebody come in and explain that. And we keep waiting for all these things that you guys keep saying, like, we'll look into it, but nobody ever appears to explain it. So we're just wondering when that meeting is going to appear.
I don't know, can you tell me?
Well, I'm not a selectman yet. Keep it up, I might be.
I consider that a threat.
No, not at all. It was a joke. I'm not running. I don't want to deal with that.
And another issue was the right to know requests. They're listed on the town website up to a certain point,
March.
but yet there have been other requests that I know have been submitted, and they're not appearing. Once the request has been made by somebody, it should be listed on the town website and available for all.
I gotta see if is that in our personnel policy? I don't think it was there, the right to know, do we have to post them on the website?
I have no idea.
I'll double check it.
You don't have to. It was a motion that was made by the selectmen so that people wouldn't have to keep coming in here and requesting the same thing,
Okay.
and the treasurer wouldn't have to keep continually pulling the same thing. It would always, once it was researched and paid for, it would be available on the town website. It was to save your treasurer some time. Once he has it and pulls it, it's 2 minutes to put it on the website. I'm not completely sure why it's a big issue to get him to put it on the website.
I don't know how I really feel about it being on the website or not. I mean, I don't think, to me, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it, I guess, with the right to know. A lot of right to know was not created for a small town. Yes, and I think it can be, but
I think the right to know is probably basically was created for a small town, because the junk that goes on
I
here.
tell you, it's not really made for a small town, it just makes a lot of commotion, and I just, I have mixed feelings about it, that's all.
You don't think people should have the right to know?
I think they have the right to know. I think that if they come in and ask, they have a right to know too. I mean, that's just as easy as putting all that, I don't know. I don't know if it, personally, I think it creates a lot of havoc, but that's my own opinion. So, I mean, I can ask
That's
him to put them on
interesting.
there, but that's my personal opinion. I can ask him to put them on there.
Okay, what about minutes?
We're working on them.
Been working on them for a long time.
We have, yeah, and we're all very busy, so.
Yeah, me
We're
too.
working on them. I mean, anybody can come in and get a paper copy of them. If
I know,
they
but
want
I'm
to copy
busy.
them.
I shouldn't have to run down here every 5 minutes to get a copy.
Well, I know, but I knew too. So we're getting them just as soon as we can. Everybody's working on this in between everything else, so we are getting them. I have tomorrow off. I plan on coming in here for a couple hours and probably typing some of them, because I have some right here. I looked at them last week again, so I'm gonna try to get some of them done tomorrow, and then signed and put out there, so, yeah.
Okay.
At that point, then you could tell Sue the ones that she needs to get together.
Sue knows which one she has.
I know
She's
which
got a whole
ones I
bunch
have.
too.
Okay.
But we were trying to
But
assess.
I also am not just a clerk to type minutes.
Yeah, a lot of towns have that.
I do a lot of other
Yeah.
I realize.
responsibilities that really come before that, because if you're interested, you can come in and get the written minutes. But, I have a lot of things that need to be done before I do those minutes.
It's
so.
difficult. We're getting better. I mean, we're gonna get them better.
We don't have a,
Did you find out what's going to happen with all the excess food that's still in the lobby
I have not.
for a few weeks here?
I have not.
'Cause-
No, we'll
okay.
probably send it to the school, but we'll gotta call the school to find
oh, I'm
out. so.
hoping to get some calls.
Yeah,
But if I
she's
don't,
hoping
then
to,
we'll send
so.
it to the school or the food pantry.
Mhm.
Are we good?
I'm good.
All right, I make a motion that we adjourn.
I second it.
4:40.
4:42.